He went for his DCEs. There is a Float Stone. He does have another Float Stone. Oh, he's going to knock out our Golbat. Well played, well played. We might have to Lysandre out his other Shaymin then. Augusto 1 is going to be our next opponent, and apparently it's going to be another Night March deck. That's definitely what it looks like. That's going to be interesting here. Can we pull off another quick win, or is this going to be a bit of a longer match? We do start off first, and we are going to take that opportunity. Hopefully draw through our deck without having to put down many Shaymin. We started with a mulligan. That was a good hand otherwise. Well, not the best, but if that was a Pikachu, I would have taken it. We could have used our Sycamore and drawn into some more Pokemon that way. It's not, it turns out it's not a Pikachu, so we'll have to redraw our hand. Give our opponent one more card in the process as well. That's a little bit annoying as well. And this is basically the same hand that we draw into. The PTCGO just gave me the same hand with the Golbat in it. And we, oh my goodness, what a start this is. This is what ridiculous start this is. What, oh my goodness, I'm gonna cry. Unown in the active spot and Shaymin in her hand. No Pikachu, no Zubats. What the heck is going on here? Let's see, our opponent shall draw into some more cards. Is this Night March? Is it Night March or not? We'll know soon enough if my opponent can do something. Yes, okay, so it's Night March. We are probably going to let the Unown get knocked out. We are going to dig for a Pikachu. Get a Pikachu on our bench. Discard that Golbat. And we only have one more Shaymin in our deck as well. So we are limited on Shaymin draw power. We have 4 Zubats. Why could we not just start off with a Zubat? What's so hard about starting off with the Zubat? And then let's do on a... I'm gonna bench one Shaymin. I'm gonna risk it. I don't really want to discard that Sacred Ash just yet. Let's use one Shaymin. And there is... oh my goodness, we are going to have to use the Sycamore now. Let's discard Teammates. Then we have access to the Teammates AZ to pick up the Shaymin. And Hex Maniac as well. And we shall use our Sacred Ash. Shuffle back that one and only Golbats that we discarded earlier on. And then we shall Sycamore our hands. Hopefully not draw into a ton of supporters. And there is not a single Zubat anywhere to be seen. So what we are going to do is we are going to get rid of the N and the Shaymin. Don't want to bench the Shaymin. And we are going to get out a Zubat. We need to get a Zubat down right now. We're going to keep the DCE in hand. There's no point putting it down. There's no point putting down the Float Stone just yet. I don't want to retreat into anything other than the Unown. So we are going to leave the Unown there. Let it get knocked out. Not an ideal start whatsoever. Not ideal whatsoever here. We burned through a lot of resources. Most of our supporters are in a discard pile, and we didn't manage to get any basic Pokemon down except for one Zubat and one Pikachu and the Shaymin, but that is not helpful for us unless we can Sky Return the Shaymin to knock out the Joltik. That would be quite... I would be okay with that, let's put it that way. And then we have the Shaymin removed from our bench, and then we are left with just basic Pokemon that trade fairly in prices with my opponents. Can my opponent pull off the knockout on this Unown? He should be able to. He can discard 3 Lampent here, and then he only needs a DCE to get a knockout on this Unown. If he does not attach a Fighting Fury belt, I'm going to promote the Shaymin. I'm not going to promote my Pikachu just yet then. And he seems to be taking a little bit of time finding Lampents, or he's trying to memorize his deck, I guess. Okay, so there he goes. Discards his Sycamore and 2 Lampents. He's maybe going to Sycamore his hand. He has a VS Seeker in hand. And he's going to try to use that, because maybe he's stuck with all Night Marchers in his hand. And there is an Ultra Ball. Will we see a Shaymin with that Ultra Ball? Discards another Lampent. Maybe he had 2 Lampents in hand right there. What will we see? Will we see a Pumpkaboo or Shaymin? He does get a Shaymin out, so we can Lysandre that out. He's going to risk the same that we did, benching a Shaymin. Unless he's going to discard it with that Sycamore that he put in his discard pile and might get back with the VS Seeker. What are you going to do? Augusto 1, there is a DCE already. Are you just going to knock out our Unown? Is that all? Shaymin, he could try to dig for a Lysandre. He could have discarded a Lysandre before as well and get that back with the VS Seeker. Knock out our Shaymin. If I were my opponent, I would do that if he can draw into a Lysandre. But let's just hope that's not what's going to happen here. Acrobike for... Oh, discards a VS Seeker. That's a bit hard. Another Acrobike. Let's hope another VS Seeker. Buddy-Buddy Rescue. I guess my opponent isn't too sad to see that be discarded. I'd rather see a DCE get discarded there, or a Puzzle of Time, or another VS Seeker. He can still use a supporter. He can definitely still do that. He might even end us, and he's just going to go for the Night March. So we are going to respond with our Shaymin, and we are going to Sycamore our hands, and that is the ideal play for us here. Leave our opponent with a benched Shaymin while we have no Shaymin whatsoever, and I want to definitely get some more Zubats. We do get a Golbat, which I'm going to put on the Joltik on the bench there. There's no point putting it on the Shaymin. And then I will put down this Float Stone on our Golbat, I guess. And let's see, we will discard that Crobat. We cannot get it back anymore. And we get a Pikachu, an Unown, and another Crobat. I'm going to keep that Crobat in hand. I'm going to discard the Unown and get another Zubat out that way. I'm also going to have to discard this Startling Megaphone, as much as that pains me, because it can be really useful to get rid of those Fighting Fury Belts. We shall, in the next turn, go with a Crobat, put it on the Golbat, and then we shall also go with a Sycamore or maybe a Teammates, depending on what my opponent does. So we'll get a knockout here. We'll bring ourselves down to 5 prizes, up to speed with my opponents, and I'm actually going to promote the Pikachu, not the Zubats. We also got another Pikachu in hand, because the Zubat is going to be more useful to us than the Pikachu. And we have 3 more Pikachu, 1 in our hands, 1 in our deck or in the prizes somewhere. And he has another DCE in hand. He still has plenty of cards in his deck. I'm quite surprised at that. He did not decide to do anything else. He's hanging tight on his resources. But he cannot Lysandre anything to take 2 prizes, while we can. We can definitely Lysandre his Shaymin in the next turn and take 2 prizes that way. We can actually do that. If he does not bench any other Pokemon, we take the win that way. We put down our Crobats, knock out the Joltik, and then he is forced to promote the Shaymin. And then we can just attack with our Raichu. If we bench a Pikachu, or even without a Pikachu, that is enough for a knockout on the Shaymin because of the Muscle Band. Is he playing 2 Puzzles of Time? He's playing 2 Puzzles of Time. He's going to Battle Compress and use an Ultra Ball. So I'm thinking we might see another Shaymin hit the field. Battle Compressing. He's going to Battle Compress 1 more Lampent maybe, and potentially some Joltiks and a Pumpkaboo. He doesn't really need any more Night Marches in the discard pile, but getting some out of his deck could definitely help him in drawing more consistently. I have to wait and see what he does here. Has he got a Lysandre in the discard pile? He does not. So what did he discard there? 1 more Lampent, 1 more Joltik, and a Lysandre, I believe. He put that Lysandre in a discard pile. He might try to aim for our Golbat here. There is a Pumpkaboo, so he has that Pumpkaboo. He can promote that Pumpkaboo. We'll have to go for a Lysandre then ourselves if we want to knock out the Shaymin and get ahead in the prizes. Oh, and a Target Whistle. He is going to Target Whistle our Shaymin and then Lysandre our Shaymin. That is what he's going to do. What a play. He used the Target Whistle, and he can do that again with his puzzles. You sneaky bastard. I love it though. I love what he did here. Very, very nice play. But we are going to try to do the same here. We are going to Lysandre out the Shaymin, and at the same time we are going to knock out his Joltik. So we are going to take 3 prizes here and bring ourselves down to 2 prizes. Oh, we even get another VS Seeker. Let's evolve into the Crobat, put 30 damage counters on the Joltik. Then Lysandre out his Shaymin. And we even get another VS Seeker. My goodness, 3 VS Seekers in our hands. He will promote the Pumpkaboo, of course. Let's get that Lysandre in our hands. Go for that Shaymin. We will bench another Pikachu as well. And do we bench another Shaymin? I don't think so. I think that is not a good play. So let's retreat. Bench this Pikachu. Get a knockout here on the Shaymin. And bring ourselves down to 2 prizes. Against Nightmarch, can we get a Golbat? We get a Buddy-Buddy Rescue and a Puzzle of Time. Puzzle of Time is not really helping us out here. We could get back a Raichu, definitely could do that. Oh, Startling Megaphone, that's okay. We have enough Pokemon in play to knock out the Pumpkaboo, unless my opponent finds a Fighting Fury Belt. And he's left with a pretty tiny hand. What can he do with his hand here? I wonder. Can he pull off another play like before with the target whistle? Sycamore. So we won't see a Lysandre if he Sycamores. Definitely won't see a Lysandre then. Is it going to be just a Sycamore? DCE needs to find a Dimension Valley. Does he have it in hand? Sycamore it is, no Lysandre. He did have the catcher. And he's down to 19 cards. So he's finally going to speed through his deck a little bit, and there is a Fighting Fury Belt. That pesky Fighting Fury Belt. We could puzzle. We could actually teammates for a Raichu and a puzzle, and then puzzle for the Startling Megaphone, as well as something else. We could definitely do that. Do we have a Skyfield in the discard pile? We do not have a Skyfield in the discard pile. And there is a Ultra Ball. Going to get a Shaymin maybe. If he benches Shaymin, we will try to take advantage of that. He is going to bench a Shaymin. Can we get a knockout in the next turn? I believe we can. If he knocks out our Raichu, we can Lysandre his Shaymin. And, oh no, we cannot Lysandre it. And at the same time, power up a Raichu. Because we need to go for a teammates. Ah, that sucks. Unless we can top deck a DCE, then we can get a Raichu from the discard pile with our Buddy-Buddy Rescue. He's got 1 DCE prize and 1 Fighting Fury Belt. Oh, this is exciting. What can we do? What can we do? He's battle compressing some more. He's got 2 VS Seekers in this discard pile, 2 puzzles, so he can definitely puzzle for a target whistle and a Lysandre. He's compressing a teammates. He might have a VS Seeker in hand for the next turn, and that could be GG then. So this is the decisive turn. We need to get a knockout here on his Shaymin, or he will probably take the game in the next turn by target whistling and something on our bench. We are not going to bench a Shaymin. That is not an option for us. We are going to promote the Crobat here. We will see what we top deck. We top deck the DCE. This is that's game then. That's game. Yes, that is definitely game. We can Buddy-Buddy Rescue. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Amazing top deck right there. Let's Buddy-Buddy Rescue. Let's see, we have 1 DCE in the discard pile. So actually, we had 3 DCE left. It is still lucky, but it was definitely not super, super lucky. We shall get back a Raichu from the discard pile. Evolve our Pikachu. And then we shall Lysandre out the Shaymin. We have just enough Pokemon on our bench. Oh wow, what a game this was against Nightmarch. We just barely managed to get it here. Raichu for the knockouts for 120, and we don't even get to do it. My opponent concedes the match. Another win against Night March, but a very close one. If we had missed that knockouts, I think we would have lost the game. I think my opponent had all the puzzles in hand, the pieces of the puzzle that he needed there to pull off the game in the next turn. Jesus, man. This is not good for my heart. 280 damage versus 450 for my opponent. Raichu MVP versus Joltik. Let's see if we can maybe find a match that is not Night March.
Karp, 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 Karp.